Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Elliot. Elliot is from Kent in England, in the UK. So let's see what Elliot has to say. Enjoy the interview.
Ready.
So hello Elliot, how are you?
I am good. How are you doing?
Very well. Thanks so much for taking the time today for the interview. Thank you.
No, you're very welcome. I'm honored to be here.
Amazing. So tell me, how's your day going so far?
Day's going good. I try and keep it productive. I mean, I literally have a whiteboard on the wall to make sure I keep to a certain routine each day. So, no, it's been a good day. How's your day been?
Very well as well. Very good. It's been busy. I think it's great to be busy. I think it keeps you, out of troubles. It keeps you productive, creative. I think it's great.
No, I agree. I actually think spare time is the enemy. I think you should always fit it.
It can be. It can be. And where are you from, Elliot?
So I'm from Kent in the UK. So that is just south of London.
Born and raised?
Yes, I was indeed.
So tell me, what was the best part of growing up in Kent in your experience?
Well, I actually grew up in the countryside, which I liked because with your group of friends, you're a bit closer because there's not really much to do in like villages and that style of town, stuff like that, 'cause there's nothing to do. So you find your own things. And it was back, when, for example, the only reason you would ever call your friends to be like, are you coming out? Would actually go out, play football. Our imaginations would run wild, like would find sticks in the woods and pretend we're like Lord of the Rings. But that is the best thing about living down here.
I see. And what do you do for work, for living?
So I do multiple things, but my main is I'm a life coach. So I like to help people who think, when they're really in the pit of life, when they think they've hit rock bottom and they think there is no way of going up, because I've been there myself. I've had suicide attempts. I've been in the very bottom, but I don't see that as a bad thing anymore. I see it as a good thing because you can turn it into such a powerful strength and motivation that it's almost made me who I am. So now I try and teach others kind of what I taught myself.
I see. And also, I was checking your profile a little bit, and you do modeling as well.
I've done a bit of modeling. I've done a little bit of TV as well, but that's kind of like how I teach other people as well. If there's amazing opportunities that come up to you, don't let fear stop you from living their memories, because even if it turns out bad, at least you went for it. You can say, yeah, but I did it.
I think fear, it's a positive thing to have. I think when you feel those butterflies in your stomach, it means that you're going the right direction. If you don't feel anything, what's the point?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, it's another sign that you're finally stepping outside of your comfort zone. And as most of us know, that's when the best things happen. Oh,
okay.
Turn that off. My apologies.
Okay, not a problem. Yeah, I think fear is a good thing to have. Okay, so through the journey, I'm going to explore a little bit more about your career and also about your joys in life, okay?
Yeah, of course.
Elliot, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of views?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I've got here my best. From the fun questions, okay? I'm just gonna play a song now just for us to relax a bit before the first question, okay?
Yeah, of course. Go.
Let's do it. Okay, so before we start the game, during the join, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about, some reason you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Of course.
First question for you is, what makes you a unique person?
Oh, the thing that makes me most unique is probably the struggles I've been through. I mean, I feel like I've hit rock bottom, but like I always say, I think that's a good thing, because I see life almost as like you have a gauge. This is the way I explain this. So if the bad side of your gauge can reach all the way down here, it's just a sign that it can go the opposite direction as well. You can truly reach great things. And I think the main thing that makes me unique is that I'm able to see this, harness it, and be able to turn what some people think is bad things happening in their life into power.
And tell me something, how, when you went through those challenging times, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
when did you realize that was, let's say, a positive thing, that you realized that you could take a positive side of it?
I actually had a very unique moment. It's quite deep. So, when I was in the midst of my depression, when I was at the very lowest points, I had this really random thought that came to me and it hit me like a lightning bolt. It was literally like, I have to change my ways. And the thought in my head was, now I don't actually have any children for the record, but the thought was, if I give up now, my future daughter doesn't even get a chance at life. So if I stop now, she doesn't even get the chance to be born. So it was almost like I was taking the responsibility, because sometimes looking after yourself, it's very easy to not do it. It's very easy to be like, oh, I can't be bothered. So my mind kind of switched and put the responsibility onto someone else. So I had to be like, I have to do it for this person.
Next question. Let's do it. Hey, Elliot. Next question is, what things do you consider to be relationship deal breakers?
Oh, okay. I like this. Mine personally, I love people with self-control. So one of my biggest deal breakers is, for example, when someone goes out drinking and they kind of like don't know when to stop. The people, for example, when they're stumbling over themselves, they can't quite get themselves home, because I'm a very protective person. So my deal breaker is 100% someone who almost can't look after themselves because they would rather have fun. That would be the biggest deal breaker for me.
Do you believe that love is a choice?
My personal opinion on love is it will find you, but it's not instant love. Love always has to be worked at. It will never be perfect in the beginning. I feel like we need to start taking on, for example, people from older generations. They more believe in the, if something's broken, you fix it. You don't throw it away. So love will find you, but also it will only become true love if you both work on it and make it into true love.
Totally agree. Next question. Let's do it. Elliot, before the next question, tell me what's the biggest joy of being a life coach? Tell me what's the biggest, the biggest joy of it, and the flip side. What do you find most challenging?
The biggest joy of it is seeing people's transformation, is seeing the change from the beginning to the end, but kind of like seeing, because in the beginning, it's all doom and gloom. Like they feel like nothing can change. And at the end, it's the fact that if the same things would have happened, it's not as much of a big problem because they feel stronger. The flip side is the kind of like when people fall back into it because they start to self-doubt. Like you can build someone up, but if they have that one terrible day, it's very easy for them to fall back into it. But it's also a little bit easier to pull them out of it because they know it can happen. So that's the flip side of the coin.
Most of the people who contact you, to work with you or to get some advice from you, they are male or female?
Both.
Yeah.
I mean, mental health hits all of us. And I think the biggest problem with it right now is that some people just feel like they don't actually have someone to turn to, or that they just don't want to. They don't want to open up. They don't want to talk about mental health. But if you share it and get someone else to help, you can use their strength when you're feeling weak.
Tell me something, in your opinion, what's the biggest cause? Yeah, what's the biggest cause of mental health nowadays?
Oh, good question. I do think it's social media. I mean, if I'm just going to be very blunt and honest, there's a lot of pictures and stuff out there of what I call fake lives, people who are trying to claim I live like this. And then the reality is they don't live like that. And then everyone expects them to have all these nice things and they don't have it. And then they believe the lie. They think they should be having all these things, but they spent too much time pretending instead of actually becoming that person. So it's more about the projection that they give people of their own lives instead of actually working on their own lives. So they know their potential is all the way here, but they're down here. The whole time you're faking it, you're not getting closer to that potential. And I think that's the biggest cause of it at the moment.
I think as well, like, I think social media overall, they try to sell perfection, which does exist.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And sometimes we can get ourselves trapped in that perfectionism that, as you said, people, they're just selling perfection. Like, it does exist. You know, they just see there, this what they put it out, but you don't know what's going behind. Don't know what's their normal lives. You know what I mean? So I understand.
I mean, also, the other thing I'd add to it as well, I do think right now it's a bit harsher on women, because even younger women, there's this ideal of how they should look, and even the people in the photos they're looking at don't look like that. So even the people they're looking up to don't even live up to that expectation. But these poor younger women nowadays are trying to reach a goal that just isn't attainable.
Next question is, if you could be in somebody's place, in somebody's skin for 24 hours, who that would be and why?
Ooh. So whose place could I be in for 24 hours? Do you know who I would love? Henry Cavill.
Oh my God.
Henry Cavill.
Tell me why.
So obviously I'm a huge geek. I'm a massive nerd. I love all my superheroes. I love all the film. Henry Cavill has portrayed a brilliant Superman, but also I love the fact that he's also like a nerd as well. He's a geek. He almost missed the phone call to play Superman because he was gaming.
No way.
Yeah, seriously, that almost happened. And he had to like almost call him back and be like, yeah, sorry, yeah, I will do that. But he's just got this lovely, and also he's a gentleman. That's what I love. Like he will literally, for example, also like Chris Evans. They're the type of men where if they see someone at an award ceremony, they will help people up the stage. I want that back. I mean, I feel like that's a lost thing nowadays. It doesn't exist. So definitely Henry Cavill. Also, he's a beautiful man.
He is. And his dog as well. His dog as well.
Oh, yes. Yes. All day long.
Amazing. Ready for another one?
Yes, let's go.
Do it. Next question. Okay, next question is, what is the biggest difference between you and your best friends?
Well, to be honest, right now, I only have one best friend because I believe in keeping your circles small but true. I don't believe in having a massive circle when you're not truly super close. The main the main difference between me and my best friend at the moment is almost like life goals. We have different life goals, but we both appreciate each other's the same. We still support each other. For example, he's very career driven. He likes to have a job and he likes to get forward in that job. I like to create my own job. So even though he doesn't understand how I work, he still supports me. But that is definitely the biggest difference. Apart from that, we're like the same person.
Wow. And he lives in Kent as well?
Yes. He literally lives in the same town.
Amazing. Good. Next question. Before the next one, tell me a little bit about your experience working TV and modeling as well, when the opportunities came along.
So when it came to, I did actually fall trap, and I think quite a few people have, to these other modeling agencies where you turn up, they promise you're going to become a model, but you need to do a test shoot, and then suddenly each picture costs like £250. It is out there. Unfortunately, I fell for that, but I only bought 2 or 3 because I just believed immediately afterwards I'd end up, everywhere, as we all do, because they like to build you up and make you believe this is going to happen. So I actually thought that was something that was never going to happen to me because of that happening. And then just one day, I remember someone messaging me going, "I love your look. I need a model to stand in." And I was like, "Yeah, of course, absolutely." And she's like, "Can you wear a suit? You're going to be a groom." I was like, "Okay, whatever you need." Actually ended up being on a front cover of a magazine for a bridal magazine. But
Wow.
that just proves that opportunities can just out of thin air can just turn up. You may think a dream of yours has ended and it's not going to happen, and it could just suddenly appear. And it was the same with the TV, because I've been on Celebs Go Dating, and I just got a random DM one day, literally saying, "How do you feel about being on TV?" I was like, "I love attention, definitely." And they're like, "How do you feel about dating a celeb?" I was like, "Get me on this show." So these moments, they just kind of appeared out of thin air. But I do feel like as well, it is about your energy, your vibe towards life. If you're a happy-go-lucky type of person, happy and lucky things will happen to you.
Absolutely. I think everything attracts one each other. You know what I mean?
Yes,
So tell me
definitely.
about the experience about the celebrity dating. How
So,
yeah.
first of all, when I first went to do this, I literally just thought this could be fun. That's all I thought. I didn't think about anything else. I just thought, you know what? I'm going to go on, have a fun time. I'm just going to enjoy myself. So I went there. I met a celeb called London Hughes. Great fun. We had amazing times on the day. I think the closer it came to the end of the series, we realized it wasn't really romantic. It was more we had a laugh together, which, obviously came through on camera, but also it's because I made myself a promise before going on TV. I said, I actually don't mind if everyone hates me for being me,
Mhm.
but I would hate to do a game and act like someone else and spend the rest of my life trying to explain I'm not actually like that. So the opportunity came up. I thought, you know what, this is going to make an amazing memory. This will be an amazing experience. And I said, as long as I'm myself, nothing can go wrong.
Amazing. Next question is, talking about TV, what is your favorite guilty pleasure TV show?
South Park. South Park, absolutely love it. No one is safe from South Park. That's what I kind of like about them, because you can't even fault them because they just go after everyone, but they make light of everything. We can laugh about things that some people probably think you shouldn't laugh at, but at the same time, it's still just entertainment in my eyes, and I think they do a great job. So my guilty pleasure, 100% is South Park.
Are you a kind of person that prefer more to watch series or movies, like going to the cinema, or you're more kind of at home watching those movies, stream movies?
It depends what they are. So if it's a superhero movie, I'm in the cinema. I've got all of the snacks there. I'm ready to not move. I've paid for the more expensive seat. I am like going to enjoy this. But to be honest, when it comes to the cinema, that's it. It's more just it's the big films I want to go see on the big screen so I have the experience. Everything else, I'm in bed, Netflix. I'm done.
Which one was the latest movie watched on the cinema?
The latest one I actually went to, and it's been a while because I've been busy, was actually The Batman, the Robert Pattinson one.
Right.
Which actually, I'm glad I did sit in the cinema because it gives it a whole new feel. And also, I feel like cinema slowly dying. So I kind of feel like I
Really?
do.
Wow. It's
This. Go on.
No, sorry. I'm just saying I love going to the cinema. It's one of my therapy. There's no bigger joy than for you to go there, get a snack, a popcorn or whatever, and sit down and see the big screen. I think it's such a nice, feeling. I just forget about the world out there.
Exactly. That's why I love it, because sometimes being at home, for some people, that's where your problems are. So it's nice to go out and be out in somewhere where it's just fresh, it's new, you don't have to worry about a thing. And also, it's always quite nice driving home from the cinema, isn't it? Even that, you're like, oh, I've had a good evening.
3 questions left for you. Let's do it. Next question is, what would your ideal life look like?
Oh, my ideal life. Well, I'll tell you what, I already have a woman in my life at the moment, so she would still be there. That would be a part of the ideal. And then also I do want to be successful. I do want, I want money. I never want to have to worry about money. I think that's more the case. I want to be able to have enough that, for example, if I want to go buy my dream car, I can, because I really look at this quite blunt. I see it, if this is our only life, I want to get all the things that I want. I want to experience them. I don't want to end up at, near the end of my life, be like, oh, I've never drove a Lamborghini. I want to live all of these things. But I only want to get there through helping other people. So that would be spot on for me.
What's the meaning of success for you?
The meaning of success for me is being able to look after yourself and everyone else around you without even flinching. For example, you hear these lovely stories about people who have become successful and they've paid off like their parents' mortgage. They have their own house, for example. Obviously them things, but then also, for example, if I had a friend who was like struggling with, because I know how it feels to struggle with money. It's not a nice feeling at all. It can really, really affect you. I would love to just be like, if my mate was like, oh my God, I've got like all this debt, I don't know what to do. I'd be like, yeah, don't worry, I just took care of it. That's what I want. That's what I want.
Amazing. 2 questions left. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Before the next question, tell me something. TikTok. Tell me what's the inspiration for you to create your videos, for you to to connect with people through TikTok.
So I do truly believe I have the natural instincts to be a leader, but it's up to me to harness them and to actually do it. So the motivation behind my videos and everything is, one, to make people laugh, to make people smile, have a good time. But also, I do like to create the type of videos where someone might be having a terrible day and they come across it and they're like, okay, maybe I will get up today. Maybe I will go get something done. I like to, be able to reach to people. And also, it's nice knowing that there could be someone having a terrible day. Everything's gone wrong. And they just randomly come across it and it changes their whole day. That's my motivation behind it.
Amazing. Next question is, if you were to raise a child, what are the most important things would you like them to learn?
Respect. Respect is number one. I feel like that's becoming a lost thing with children nowadays, especially as they get into the teenage years. It's not like how when we used to be young, if you got told off, you never did it again. So also, if it's a boy, to be an absolute gentleman. I mean, it doesn't matter how people teach you. He will be taught. If you have a lady, you open the car door for her, you close it. It'll also be, you open the doors for her, you make sure that she's always protected. But I will also teach him very strongly that only certain women deserve this type of treatment. You can't just be walked all over by this, because there's some men out there that are lovely men, absolutely lovely, and they would treat women like they're their absolute world, but sometimes just because maybe they don't have a great job, they're overlooked. So I would definitely teach my sons, you need to look for the type of woman who will appreciate you if you're successful, but also if you wasn't, she would be the type who would stick by you and help you become success, because then she deserves a gentleman. If I have daughters, it's just that they should never leave the house.
I don't think that to happen. I'm gonna get something to happen.
I'll be such a pushover. If I have daughters, I'm in trouble. That's the bottom line. They'll get anything they want.
You are the only child. I mean, the only child who have siblings as well.
I have siblings. I have siblings. So I'm. My family's quite unique in a way, because I have an older brother and sister on my dad's side. Who wasn't with my mum, so they're half. Then my mum's side, I have 2 older sisters already. And then when my parents met, they only had me. And then they split. And now my dad's also had another son. So I've got a little brother who's a half. So I've got all these siblings, but I have no full siblings, which I quite like, because then I'm like, there's only one of me. Yeah.
Who in our family you are more close to?
Definitely my little brother, but that's because I'm naturally protective. Like, I love to look. Also, my little brother is an absolute natural hero. So the story on my little brother is he actually had a heart transplant at 7 years old, and he did actually flatline a few times.
Wow.
But the beauty of this now is we've found a whole new world out there called the World Transplant Games. This is like an Olympics for children who have had transplants, and he's won gold medals in swimming. So he's also the definition of sometimes the worst things in life can end up being the reason of why you live the best times in your life.
Wow. My good. How old is he right now?
He's 21 now.
My
21.
goodness.
Yeah.
Man. Wow.
And
Amazing.
taller than me. Not fair. Not fair.
Very similar, like personality way, or quite different?
We are quite different, but I think it's because of like the times we grew up in. Obviously, he's grown up straight away with technology, social media. I was quite lucky because I grew up in the time when, you know, it was still 10p to send a single text. And then also, if you wanted to receive a text, you might have to delete 10 more before you're allowed to even receive it. So we didn't really bother. The only time you would text or call your friends is to be like, I'm coming round. I just want to make sure you're in. For him, he's instantly thrust into this communication with the whole world. So I think we're different in that way. But I think for me, it made me more confident. I think for him, he doesn't quite have the same confidence level as me. But he's one of these mini geniuses. Like, he literally got asked to go to a uni. They're like, we want you to come to our uni.
Oh, wow.
So, and then I don't have that side. I'm not very academic at all, but my emotional intelligence, my ability to be an empath is much higher.
Amazing. Ready for the last question?
I am indeed.
Last one. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Right. Before the last question, through your career as a life coach, tell me a moment or a situation that with your clients that you're never going to forget, like a feedback or something that's always going to have a special place in your heart.
Good question. I think my first ever client, I will never forget my first ever client. I mean, obviously I can't say too much.
Yeah,
but the transformation was unbelievable from the pain this person, you know, that was thrust upon her through her life. Her ability to turn everything around was absolutely amazing. And also the fact that that was my first client. No matter what business you do, the first client, you feel a bit of nerves and you will question yourself. You will be like, am I good enough to do this? But then once you get going, once the ball gets rolling, it just becomes easy. So I will never, ever forget my first client.
Amazing. Last question is, what's something you wish you could do every single day?
I know this one immediately.
Yeah.
Right. This is to obviously do a success. One thing I'd love to do every day is to start my day by having a swim in my own indoors pool.
Oh, wow.
That's how I want to start my day every single day. And tell you what, that motivates me like crazy when I have them moments when I have a bit of spare time. I'm like, nah, let's get to work. So yeah, if I could do that every day, oh, life is complete. I'm done.
Amazing, amazing. Okay, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking, okay?
Okay.
One word for family.
Love.
Money.
Success.
Life.
Sorry, lives.
Life, yeah.
Challenges.
Sex.
Enjoyment.
Love.
Partner.
Politics.
Rubbish.
You're like, rubbish.
Yeah.
Religion.
Ooh. The first word that actually comes to my head is fear.
And one word for fear.
Power.
Friendship.
Bond.
Desire.
Strength.
Regret.
Motivation.
Success.
Helping others.
Wish.
Wish. False.
One word for happiness.
Life.
One word for can't.
Can.
Okay. One word for England.
Amazing.
And the last one now, life coach. One word.
Life changer.
Amazing. Let's pretend I'm going to meet your partner for a coffee. Okay. And I'm going to ask her, what is the most beautiful thing about Elliot, and what's something that he still needs to work on to improve on? What should say?
I think the amazing thing about me is my inability to give up. I can't give up on things. I can't handle the thought of quitting and then not knowing if it would have worked, if I would have kept working at it. The thing I need to work on is waking up earlier. Yeah, 100%. She would say that immediately. She'd be like, he definitely, because she's now got to the point where she knows my whiteboard routine. She knows what time I should be up. And if I don't reply to her text within that time, she was like, you weren't up again, was you?
What is your star sign?
My star sign is Aquarius.
Interesting. Let's play now, Elliot, in the magic box, and you can ask me a question. All right. But before you ask me the question, as you mentioned before about, your superheroes fans, tell me your top superhero that you go like, this is my super one, it's my favorite one. Which one that would be?
Definitely Henry Cavill's Superman. It's just the way it's portrayed, because you actually go on the journey with him and just his unbelievable power in the film. I mean, for example, I'm going to geek out right now. In the Justice League, when they're struggling with Steppenwolf, and then when Superman turns up, he just starts beating him all around the place. That's because he's the protector. He's the saving grace who's turned up. And the second he's turned up, it's like, oh, okay, everything's fine now. So definitely that one.
Do you think he could be the next James Bond?
Yes, 100%. What's the film? Have you seen A Man from U.N.C.L.E.?
I'm not sure.
Go watch The Man from U.N.C.L.E. with Henry Cavill in. He is James Bond in that film.
I see. I'll check it out for sure. Can you ask me a question now, Elliot?
Okay. If you could have one absolute dream host who isn't alive anymore, who would it be?
Oh my God, I love the question. And the first person who came to my mind is Princess Diana.
Oh, yes.
Oh my God. Imagine Princess Diana just literally answering fun, random questions. Imagine how amazing.
She would be great as well, wouldn't she? She would be great.
Oh my God. Imagine just having her having this moment, answering very random questions that people never asked her, that she never opened up about. Imagine how amazing it would be to see the other side of this beautiful woman.
Yeah, it would be amazing to hear what she could actually say as well, if she freely.
Absolutely. Imagine she doing the word association game. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Anyway, and I wish to have Prince William here one day. And maybe, you know what I mean? He could talk a little bit about her.
Yeah, definitely.
Elliot, did you enjoy the interview?
I loved it. This has been great fun.
Thanks so much for taking the time. Thanks for being so sweet as well and open up about your life.
Of course.
Before you go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
Yeah, okay. This is my message to anyone out there who's trying to chase their goals. If you're having sleepless nights, if you're starting to self-doubt, if you're starting to question if you should even carry on with the work you are doing, I want you to know they are the normal steps towards success. If you are feeling these ways, you are doing something right. You're meant to feel self-doubt. You're meant to worry about it. You're meant to have sleepless nights. If you're going through these moments, just know it's meant to happen and just keep going, because it will happen eventually.
Amazing. My goodness. Keep going. I think that's the main thing. Just, one day after another. And
just keep moving.
Keep moving. No stop. When the obstacles come, just go around, and you go straight ahead, get there. Thanks so much, Elliot. Have a nice evening, and thanks for the interview. It was a pleasure, okay?
Lovely. Thank you, buddy. I'll talk to you soon. Perfect.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.